Hey y'all. Okay, I want to discuss this ad that Kamala put out, where it's like a video of obviously, it looks like a possessed child who's making messes all over a house. I will say I had one experience like that with a child, which I think the mom thought that he was autistic, but I'm pretty sure he was demon possessed. His name was Riley. I think he was about 7 years old, and I was put in charge of him at my church. Which I was like, why did they put me in charge of him? I have absolutely no experience in dealing with special needs kids. But I forget what room we started out in, but he ran up the stairs in the church to the attic area, but it was a room. But then he kept trying to open the door to climb out on top, basically on top of the roof, but inside the top of the roof. So there was like insulation in there, and I knew, because my dad was an electrician, that was like fiberglass, and it's really dangerous. You don't want to be like getting all up in that stuff. So I was trying to hold him back from not going there and going in this closet, but he was strong. And then for whatever reason, he started stripping his clothes off and threw his clothes down the stairs. He didn't take his underwear off, thank God, but anything else. And he was throwing his clothes down the stairs. Later, our children's pastor explained to me that he did that because he wanted to go down the stairs, but he was too scared. So he was just throwing his clothes down the stairs. And I was like, okay. But I was really shaken up about the whole experience. And I was like crying. But he had dark eyes. And I just want to say, watch out for dark eyes. There was a video circulating Twitter yesterday of some woman in North Carolina complaining that they weren't getting aid, but her eyes were black. So first of all, I think she was trying to turn everybody against the government. That's not good. I don't think that we should be. There's verses about that. Read Romans, I think it's Romans 12, that we should submit to the governing authorities. We should pray for our leaders. We shouldn't be subversive. We shouldn't be antagonistic. We shouldn't be trying to start riots. We should be submitting to the government. We should respect them for everything that they're doing. Like, can you imagine being them? That's what I said in another video. Anybody my entire life that I've heard of that wants to pick on the president, I want to tell them, you try doing their job. It's not easy. And I know, I mean, I've done it on a smaller scale, as far as like I've been in charge of lots of kids in a lot of different jobs, and it's kind of like being the president in the sense of ruling over people, making them submit, dealing with insolence, dealing with defiance. I ran an after-school program at a school. It was a private school, and sometimes I was in charge of like 60 kids by myself, and I'd have to put them on timeout. I had this one kid, Joseph. Speaking of dark eyes, I had this kid named Joseph. I would have to put him on timeout because he would be running around at snack time. He didn't want to sit down. He didn't want to eat. So I'd have to tell him to take a 5-minute timeout. But he had dark eyes, black, I suppose. I remember his eyes seemed so evil. I remember one day I was like, all right, I'm going to do some one-on-one time with him, and we played basketball, and his behavior got better after that. And that's what you got to do with anybody who's demon possessed, child or adults. You got to show them some love. Show them some love. In so doing, maybe you will get their demons out. It's so ironic. 5 months ago, I prayed that God would keep the demons away from all my friends and family, and God told me, then don't make anyone angry. Did I succeed in that? No. No, I did not. But keep that in mind. Y'all can learn the lesson from me. Do that in your own life. Try to not make people angry, because what does the Bible say? Don't let the sun go down on your anger, and don't give Satan a foothold. That is the avenue for demonic possession, for children and adults. you get angry, you make someone angry, they stay angry, that resentment festers until demons enter. You know, have I experienced this? I don't know. I could say I've had pretty bad PMS like my whole life, where I get really emotional. I always feel like I get maybe a surge of testosterone or something, but it certainly makes me irritable. And I know at various times in my life I have felt like that maybe I got possessed when I was PMSing or something. Which I don't know. Maybe it was just my hormones, you know. Maybe maybe all women get possessed when they're PMSing. I don't know. But I really have no idea. I don't know. But I do know whenever I feel like that, it helps to walk around a lot and get exercise. So, ladies, if you have issues with your PMS, it's probably a surge of testosterone. You might feel like you're possessed, but it could just be testosterone. And you just need to get more exercise, you know. Like growing up, I always played basketball. I think that always helped me. And then as an adult, I would ride a bike or something. So, anyways, I did want to talk more about possessed children. There was this one girl I was in charge of. She had black eyes, but she had light blonde hair. So I was like, she's really not supposed to have dark eyes like that. Everybody has light blonde hair has green or blue eyes. So I was her nanny for a while, like 2 or 3 months. And when she would take a nap every day, I would pray for her, just a little bit, not like a lot. And then I would play worship music just to entertain myself, because I've always loved Hillsong worship music. And then after a couple months, her eyes turned color from, basically they were black, like dark brown. They really were black. And then they went literally to light blue.